What's up, guys? Jay Todd of JT Training. Today we're going to talk about some of the common exercises to work the back muscle. Clay's our trainer demonstrating here today. He's just doing perfect form bent over rows with 2 dumbbells. A lot of you do this a little bit incorrect, so we want to cover some of the basics. As you can see today, Clay's got a slight knee flexion, hip flexion. His torso should be bent down to about 45-degree angle. So he's nice at that nice 45-degree angle with a nice flat back. You want your head in line with the spine. We see a lot of people that are either hyperextended and then they get done and say, why is my neck hurt? Or they're bending forward, dipping their chin into their chest. It's like, how are you breathing? You're putting strain on the back side of the neck. So we want to head in line with the spine is the term we use. So it's right an extension basically of your back. As you row, you're going to stay in that position. Your hips are not moving up and down. Notice how his hips, the glutes, hammies, quads are not activated in terms of moving. They're just stabilizing him. He's reaching down, getting full stretch of that latissimus dorsi. Coming up here, squeezing the rhomboids, the traps, and the posterior deltoids. So there's a lot of variations just with the dumbbells alone here that we can do. We can go ahead and have Clay, he's basically doing a neutral grip. We can have him imagine he's got a bar. So let's go ahead and move him, pronate him down. So the same rules all apply. Squeeze up, pause, down, slow, and control. We can have him even turn it over into a supinated grip like this, and he can be pulling up. What it's doing is it's just changing the activation a little bit of your rhomboids, your traps, your lats, your latissimus dorsi is what lats are, and your posterior deltoid, which is the back side of the shoulder. So all these variations are great. We could even have him go back to, in any one of these, let's go neutral grip again, Clay, and let's do what we call a piston style at JT Training. So one goes up as one goes down. So you're alternating, and see he started out doing the single variation of it, one up, one down, which is awesome. Now let's go ahead and put them together as one goes up, one goes down, kind of like a piston, boom, just like that. You can usually do these a little bit faster, but again, stabilize through that low back. Don't let the momentum carry you out of control. If we wanted to, we could go ahead and set one of them down, and we could just do a staggered stance right where he is. 1 foot forward, whatever hand the dumbbell end is the opposite of the leg that's in front, doing the bent over roll right there like that. So he did a natural thing right there. He put his forearm down on his leg to stabilize and help keep that back nice and flat. Again, anytime you're doing this, as you're doing the row or the pull, we want to exhale. Do not forget about your breathing. Exhale when you pull, inhale when you slowly lower the weight down. So he could also change that based upon his arm or limb length. He could change it. He could go hand if he's got shorter arms, wrist, forearm. He could get all the way down here and bend all the way over to parallel if he wanted to get more of a stretch right down here towards the front toe, and then pull it up and back. To activate more of the posterior delt, he could come across center a little bit, come across midline, then pull up and out. There you go. Just changing that angle affects the activation of the muscle. So this here, the one that he was just doing, a lot of people like using the bench to stabilize. So let's go ahead and just do that same exercise right there on the bench, Clay. So again, you're going to put a knee on the bench. Again, your hand and forearm placement is predicated by how long your arms are and how low you want your back. So taller people maybe want a different hand placement than shorter people. So again, same momentum there, pulling it up, controlled, down. I usually like having the knee close to the outside of the bench right here. No, bring your left knee over to the other, bring your knee on the bench out, right there. And then staggering, putting that kickstand back. So now if he wants to, similar to what I was saying before, he can reach under the bench a little bit, coming to that midline or center line, getting a nice stretch in the lat here. So when he reaches down and under, he gets a nice stretch of that latissimus dorsi, which attaches back in here and pulls up and out on his humerus there as he squeezes through the range of motion. So again, anytime you're doing one side, obviously do the other. So if Clay was going to do the other side, we just like set the dumbbell there, flipping around, switching his legs, and you go with the exact same thing facing the other direction. I think most of you can figure that out. All the same rules apply. Some other exercises that we could do right here. Go ahead and stand up for a second, Clay. We could literally put the bench up into an incline. Go ahead and put your feet right on there and lean your chest forward. Right there. So we could have him doing a 45-degree one-arm row right there like that. So he's pulling up, pause, down, control. We could adjust his bench angle and put it lower. Obviously, he's doing one side because I took that dumbbell away. We just add the other one in right there. He's pulling up and back, down, slow, and control. So this is what's called a chest-supported row. Again, it takes any cheating or momentum. So if you have problems cheating or this is why we throw in all the variations we do at JT Training, so that you get the muscles work from a lot of different angles and a lot of different exercises, plus a variety is the spice of life, right? So let's go ahead and stand up, Clay, and set those down. So from traditional dumbbells, we have just a basic barbell setup here. The same rules apply, except for when you're using a barbell, you want to get into what's called the deadlift start stance. So he's going to bring his shins up, approaching the bar. He's going to about hip width apart. He's going to squat down and get into that nice deadlift position. Total different video, totally different day. We'll hit that later, guys. But right here, he's just going to go ahead and deadlift it up. Boom. Then what I recommend everybody do, once you get into this stance, bring your feet in just a little bit and stick your butt out so that the arms hang down and you can get into that nice flat position right there. Once you get into the 45, all the same rules apply. Head in line with the spine, blow it out when you pull, inhale when you go down slow and control. Do not let it drop, do not let it jerk, do not let your low back move up and down. So again, go ahead and stand up and go ahead and set it down. Here's a key point right there. When he's done, anybody's done using a barbell for a row, I always recommend that you stand up, contract the glutes, hamstrings, and rectus spinae muscles, and then set your feet and then deadlift it back down. A lot of people go from that row and they try and set it down like that. Well, if they have too much weight or they do something wrong, you can impinge a nerve and or hurt the low back. Obviously, we could play with the hand placement here. He could go underhand, he could go wider, he could go a little bit narrower, changing the activation. So that's the barbell. If you have any other questions, obviously let me know below. Now we have a couple of kettlebells set up. Again, same thing. We could do the same thing. Squat down, get into that deadlift position, deadlift it up. Everything we did with the dumbbell, we can obviously do with the kettlebell. So now he's going to go into that 45 degrees, athletic stance, pull it up and back, down, slow and control. So the cool thing about the kettlebells is they hang a little bit differently than dumbbells, so he can actually add some movement as he pulls it. He can start with a supinated grip, and as he rows, he can turn it up and out. He can start with an overhanded grip and turn it in. He could basically start with a neutral grip and turn it whatever way. When you do that, you're just activating the muscles in a little bit different sequential pattern. That sequential pattern will lighter put the focus in one area or the other. So go ahead and deadlift those back down. Last one we have out here for today is just a basic sandbag. We got tons of these and tons of different weights. Big scheme of things, let's just start with the grip that's on top. Let's start with the one-handed grip right there. So he can literally grab this and with two hands on one and go through his row progression. So go ahead, pull it up, exhaling, down, control. He could also go to a stagger stance and do a one-legged row. So go ahead, stagger stance right there, abs tight, neutral grip, down, slow, and control. We could even do something really cool. It's not normal. You really got to contract the core. Flip the feet. Leave it where it is. Leave it where it is. Switch your feet now. Bring that foot forward right here. Now pull it up and up right to your chest line. Pull it up and back right to the chest. It may be a little bit heavy, big. Yep. See how he added the natural? Your body knows what's best. He naturally rotated that up and back, squeezing through the lat muscle. So there's lots of variations based on handles, based on foot, based on grip width. So using this sandbag, let's go ahead and grab the neutral grip, just rotate it over. That's the cool thing about these sandbags is we can make them whatever weight we want to make them. We can adjust. Here he's just going through a neutral grip. Again, go ahead and stand up with it, deadlift it down, and switch it over, grab a different grip. Let's go rotate over into, here we have two grips lined up with the bag. So let's go overhand grip to start with. Again, it's just like a barbell or dumbbell or a kettlebell overhand grip, pulling it up and back. Boom, so go ahead and go through the pull and go ahead and switch your grips to a supinated. Same thing. Oh, he's grabbing the wide grip. Yeah, there we go. So the wide grip is a nice change too because it really squeezes and activates those posterior deltoids. Kind of like when on the dumbbells we had him going out wider. He's able to activate more of the back side of the shoulder, coinciding or working synergistically with that latissimus dorsi, the traps, and the rhomboids. So all of these row variations are awesome exercises to work the lower back, the upper back, the back side of the shoulders. So if you have any questions about any one of these, go ahead and give me a message below, or you can always contact JT Training at jttraining.org, send me an email, phone number's on there. If you have any questions, let us know. We want to see you in shape though, so if you want to start in any of our programs, go ahead and let us know and we'll hook you up and see how you can get in the best shape of your life. Have an awesome day. I am out. Weather's getting cooler. Let's go ahead and get to your goals before the holiday parties get here.